Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is NBL Overtime, all thanks to LD Mobile. John Mooney, the big boy, he likes to clean the glass of the Perth Wildcats, to join us in around 10 minutes' time. Fair bit of rumours getting around. Some guys who we love in the NBL have signed internationally, so we'll get to all that. And also what the uncertainty around the NCAA means and how it could be a positive for the NBL. All that and plenty more. Liam Santamaria, hello to you.
Hello, Cam. I thrive on your energy. You're up and about. There's a lot to talk about in the middle of the off-season right now.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do as well. At some point, I'm going to slip in the NBL 21 ad as well, just to get this hype to a whole new level. Homicide, no photo of yourself behind you, but you do have the hoodie on that has your head on it. There you go. What up, man?
Everything is good, man. You know, we're here one more week on this planet, so I'm happy.
Yes, I agree. Let's get into some other people who are probably fairly happy, are the Adelaide 36ers fans, because they got their man, Donald Sloan, announced last week. And if you haven't seen what he can do, check this out. Oh, it's going to be fun to watch. He is going to be very fun to watch. Donald Sloan signed to the Adelaide 36ers. The rumours have been around for a week or two. Of course, we think we know the roster is complete, but there's also another rumour getting around that it might not well be. But we'll start with you, Liam. You love this signing for the 36ers.
I do. I feel like this is exactly the kind of guy that they needed to bring in. We spoke about what they needed in that spot, and they needed a combo guy, a bit of a veteran, a guy who could flat out score the ball and do it, put the team on the shoulders at periods of time. And this guy's all of that. I spoke to him in the isolation conversation a few days ago and was really impressed. He has the right mindset for coming into town. And we all watched him do his thing in the show for Indiana, Brooklyn. I labeled him a few days ago as a professional scorer. And when he can play make for sure, but when he's put in a position to get buckets, he well and truly has the ability to do that. And excited to see how he comes over, fitness, form, and how he goes when the whips get cracking.
I totally agree. I just want to see if he's the Donald Sloan of old. What type of Donald Sloan we going to see? And that's going to determine whether Adelaide is going to fly high or not. That's it. He got to come correct.
So essentially, if it's a Donald Sloan that we've known in the NBA, they're going to be real good.
They're going to be extremely exciting to watch. They're going to be ultra competitive.
I agree. And he's also someone, Liam, he's been there, done that, as we know. And to be able to work, and we'll single out Josh Giddey here because, of course, of his age and his dream of getting to the NBA in particular next couple of years, the experience is going to be a rub off on those couple of young guards. Sunday Deck's another one. Is going to be huge for their development, both on and off the court, for becoming that next level of professionalism you need.
For sure. He's going to be a good influence around those guys, I think. But it's very relevant what Corey just said there.
I agree.
Because, we see guys come from especially guys coming who've been in the NBA and then spent time in China. That experience can change some guys and they come in not necessarily, think about it, a guy like Jeremy Tyler or, they're used to a certain role within teams in the CBA and they come into the NBL and you're expected to play both ends. You're expected to play every possession. You're expected to move the ball if that's the right play in that period of time. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And then the other thing is, Corey talks about, well, he's a guy that's been in the. Are we going to see that same guy that we saw in the NBA? Sometimes that happens. Josh Childress comes over here and he doesn't miss a beat and he puts in the hard work and he puts up near quadruple doubles. other guys who have that experience, like a guy like Johnny Flynn years ago, comes over and he's like, this is the NBL, and walks his way through it and doesn't help his team win games.
Hashtag NBL overtime to get involved. There are after other stuff to get around. What we do before we get to Newbill, to Prather, to Ware. Just actually, I want to ask a question on Didi Lozzata later in the show as well. But let's get to a man we expect to be here. Perth Wildcats have signed him. We love him. We loved your article, Liam. You wrote on nbl.com.au a couple of weeks ago. He just likes to clean glass. And when it comes to highlights, if you haven't seen John Mooney yet, and I reckon you might have if you watch the NBL socials, you would have seen these already. But enjoy him again.
John Mooney is a machine.
And look at the big fella, John Mooney, crash the glass.
You find Mooney on the run. Telling you, Mooney around the basket is the best player on the court.
Mooney on a fade. Nice touch. Boy, that is a tough shot.
One of the best players, not just in the ACC, but in the country.
One of the best rebounders in the entire nation.
Strong in the offensive glass. What a versatile game. And he saw the opening. John Mooney the stuff.
John Mooney on the inside.
Score. There you go. That'll do it. Let him touch it. Big fella delivered. And Mooney puts it home. There's Mooney back at him. John Mooney the dunk. Mooney down the lane with a dunk. Zone. My goodness, again, nothing but net.
Beats inside and right there for another jam, John Mooney.
Mooney got his defender in the air.
Goodwin.
Oh, what a tip in by Mooney.
Mooney throws it down.
Oh, I tell you what, boys, the Red Army are going to love this guy. You look at the highlights, you spoke, of course, and you wrote, Liam, on NBL Media last week when the announcement of John Mooney to the Wildcats was made official. He's just going to eat the glass. And the Red Army are going to love everything he does. And he joins us right now on NBL Overtime. John, as I welcome you to NBL Overtime, I also welcome you to the NBL, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. No, I'm very excited, very, very pumped to get out to Perth and get going.
Hey, Liam wrote, and a lot of people in the scouting report, that you just like to clean the glass at a almost like a minute-by-minute occurrence, mate. You're just going to continue to be able to do what you've done into the pros, and we're looking forward to you being able to play the way you do.
Thank you. No, it's definitely something that I take pride in is, getting rebounds and getting possessions for my team. So that's something I take pride in and hope to continue to do that at the next level.
John, what do you know about the organization that you're coming into?
I mean, I know they're coming off back-to-back champs. Definitely think they have the most championships in the NBL. So it just says a lot about the organization that they have and what they value. They value winning. They value hard work, and respecting each other, respecting the community. So it's their values align with mine. So I'm thrilled and I'm humbled to be a part of the organization.
Hey, John, you mentioned there, of course, two-time reigning champs. Does that add pressure to you coming into such a successful program, as we all know, but also a specific team that have been so good in recent years?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it pressure. I would more call it a learning experience. Coming in my first year playing professionally, I'm super excited to learn from a championship organization like that. Again, I said it, but they're back-to-back champions and they're come from a winning culture. So I'm definitely excited to be able to learn and to put myself in that type of organization.
Look, man, I watched your highlights, and I'm really excited for you to come in the league, and I think you're going to fit right in with the Wildcats, how they play, and everything you bring to the table. Look, I just feel you're going to fit right in. I feel your transition is going to be quicker than most coming directly out of college because – the conference you played in and the work you've been able to put in on a consistent basis on a high level. So, look, I'm hyped to have you here, and I can't wait to see you play. Obviously, Nick K has been, he's 4, 5, 6 years pro. But I feel like you're a real good fit. If you lose Nick K, which they did, and for you to come in, I'm excited for you, man.
No, I appreciate it. Obviously, I've seen some of Nick K's highlights and a great player. And, I think I can come in and do some of the things that he did. Obviously, they're involved in a lot of ball screens, a lot of flex screens and down screens. So I'm comfortable playing out of those actions. And then on the defensive end, I'm gonna work my tail off and try to get stops and try to keep my guy in front of me, and then clean up the glass, man. That's something that I take pride in. So, I'm definitely excited, and I'm confident that I can come in and add value to the organization.
And that's why I'm excited, because not only did you have to perform at a high level in college, for you to do it, that's what you do. So for you to be coming in, knowing the person's spot you're replacing, you're looking forward to this challenge. So this is why I believe you'll have less of an issue transitioning your game and style of play into the NBL than most. Good luck, man.
No doubt. No, I appreciate it. It's going to be a challenge, like you said, and that's something that in college we always talked about, was embracing the challenge that you have in front of you, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to embrace the challenge and love it, because I'm super passionate about the game. So I'm ready to get over there and do what I love doing.
John, you spoke about watching a bit of tape on Nick and his game. You would have seen in that tape, and you would already know that this team's built around Bryce Cotton. Shares the same agent as you, has been tearing this league up for a while now. What do you know about him, his game, and the idea of playing alongside him?
Yeah, no doubt. That's definitely cool to have, my agent also represent him. Adam Pensack has been great with me, and obviously really good with Bryce. So, got to shout out him. But yeah, I've watched some tape on Bryce. He's a tremendous player, really good shooter. Definitely has the ball in his hands a lot, and he's creating. So it's going to be fun to play with him, to, ball screen for him, pick, pop, let him do his thing, maybe dish it to me, dish it to another one of our teammates. He seems like a team first guy. I've had the chance to speak with him a little bit over the phone. So he seems like a good dude. So definitely very excited to get out there and meet him along with the rest of the guys.
John, what's it like being in 2020? Traditionally, college season finishes, championship, tournaments done, NBA lottery into an NBA draft relatively quickly. There's summer league, then there's the pro offers as you try and work your way through it. It has all been topsy-turvy, as we know, in 2020. What's it been like personally this last 6 or 7 months as you are preparing to adapt to your new way of life in maybe the same country of the NBA or internationally, whatever it might be? What's it been like for yourself?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's been a whirlwind. What we've talked about here is that it's wet cement and everything's still hardening. It's still hardening by the day, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. So that's kind of been my mentality, is to focus on my day-to-day tasks, which is just working on my game each and every day, working on my body and working on how I can get better. That's been one of the silver linings of this whole thing. The positives is that we've had 6 months to work on my game, and I've definitely taken advantage of that, and I'm going to continue to do that until I know what my next step is, and until I get to Australia or until I get drafted here, whatever the case may be. I'm just going to take it day by day.
Just on that quickly. So did you have any trouble? Like, was it easy to find a court where you've been working out? Was that ever closed, or did you have to go and find somewhere else? Has there been any logistical issues you've had to get through on a day-to-day basis as well?
Fortunately, here in Orlando, Florida, I have a gym and a trainer who's been great. Getting in the gym pretty much every day. Obviously, we're taking the necessary precautions to put safety first, which that's always going to be first. But fortunately, we have a gym open here and haven't been able to get in there.
John, you mentioned the draft and the next step, but what's your agent telling you about the draft? There's no pre-draft process as there usually is right now. What are you hearing about the possibility you might get picked up?
Yeah, I touched on it before, but everything really is just so uncertain. Fortunately, I've been able to talk to 11 NBA teams to date, and their answer has all been the same. Not a lot of them have been even thinking about the draft. What they've been thinking about is, getting their guys into the NBA bubble and making sure they're safe. So yeah, I think the draft really up until this point has kind of been in second thoughts for them. So I'm just going to take it day by day. If I get drafted, great. If not, I'm going to come over to Perth and work my tail off to help my team compete for another championship.
Has it been weird? Of course, in the traditional pre-draft process, you'll go maybe work out, you may have a meeting, and it's all different. Now you just sort of maybe in your living room or wherever you might be, you just flick on a computer and you're talking to these executives that could change your life both professionally and personally. Has it been a weird experience?
No doubt. It's definitely been weird. Everything's over the video call, everything's through Zoom. There's no face-to-face interactions. Like you said, there's no chance to get a workout in front of the team. So, it is what it is. Everyone's going through the same process as me, so I can't really complain too much. I just got to, take what I can and take advantage of it. If the interviews keep coming, then I'm going to take advantage of them. But again, I'm excited to have this deal with Perth. I'm very humble and flattered that they're interested in me. And like I said before, I'm ready to come over there and work my tail off for my teammates.
What was the first conversation like with Coach Trevor Gleason?
He's a great dude, man. I've had the chance to talk to him a couple times. One thing that he's always stressing is relationships and rings. And that's great for me, going over there and building relationships with obviously my teammates, with the coaching staff, with the Perth community, and then competing for rings, man. That's what he values. And again, that really aligns with my values as well. So I'm super excited to get over there.
Obviously, you share that agent with Bryce Cotton, as we touched on, but did you know much about the NBL? Had you heard about it? Had it been on your radar the last couple of years?
I have. One thing about the NBL that I know and a lot of Americans know is how competitive it is. Certainly you have young guys like LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton coming over there that definitely, increase the interest over in America. But, there's plenty of other examples. You got James Ennis, guys who are in the NBA or guys who are go to Australia, then go to the NBA. So that shows how competitive the league is. It shows, how competitive and how ready I have to be when I get over there. So again, I'm super excited. The competition's high, so that was something that was appealing for sure.
John, you mentioned LaMelo Ball, RJ Hampton. That's obviously the Next Stars program, which has been in our league the last couple of years. It's with this unique situation this year with the draft being pushed back. There's this a new sort of opportunity for NBL teams to look at draft eligible NCAA guys as potential Next Stars. What you've signed a full contract with the Wildcats. Was it ever a conversation with your agent or Trevor Gleason or the club to move into that Next Stars program that Ball and Hampton were a part of?
To my knowledge, no. I let my agent do all that type of work for me. I'm not sure what the requirements are to be a part of that realm, but no, I haven't heard anything about that.
Just for a little bit of background, John, Homicide here, Corey Williams. His first coach in the NBL was Trevor Gleason. You got any advice, Homicide, how to deal with him on a day-to-day basis?
How'd your relationship and rings go?
The biggest thing is just be prepared to work every day. He doesn't care what you do off the court. Just on court, be prepared to work. Be professional. Yep. So you fresh out of school, fresh out, your first gig as a pro, you'll be more than excited and ready to work every day.
No doubt. No, I appreciate that. That's the vibe I got from him, man. He's definitely a worker. Talks about how he has the guys in there every day, 7:30 in the morning. They're on the court getting their daily vitamins in. That's what he talks about. So, I'm pumped, and I love that for sure.
Got to say too that when Homicide play, the local nightlife were very happy that Trevor doesn't mind what you do away from the court. It's ready as long as you're ready to work when you get there. That right, Homicide?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
John, have you been hearing from the Red Army on your socials? The Wildcats have rabid support from an enormous fan base known as the Red Army around these parts. Have you been hearing from them?
I have. On social media, Instagram and Twitter, I've gotten some shout outs from some fans. So definitely very cool to see that. I've heard nothing but great things about the Red Army. I know that they pack that arena out pretty much every night. Hopefully, given the COVID situation, that'll be the case this year. But yeah, man, that's one of something that was very appealing was playing in front of 13,000 fans every night when they're screaming and hollering. That's why you play the game. That's why you work. So definitely excited to see that.
Yeah, you got a great home gym. We appreciate you joining us on NBL Overtime. We can't wait. We can't wait to see you here. Highlights of which Homicide spoke about earlier. They excite everybody, be it a hardcore Red Army Wildcat fan or the neutral fans, us in the media. We can't wait to see you do your thing, mate. So next couple of months, it's a weird time. Enjoy it as much as you can and work through the process. And we look forward to seeing you in Western Australia sometime real soon before the season. Thanks, man.
That's right. No, I appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Take care.
Thanks,
Peace.
Cheers, guys. Yes, sir.
What's that? No, he didn't. This ain't no cupcake league, man. Wow! That is sensational. Talk about incredible. How incredible was that? Oh, baby, that's good. This is ridiculous. They're the hottest team in the league. We're the best team in the league.
Once you get to the top of the mountain, I guess you want to see how long can you stay there now.
As good as it gets. It's unstoppable.
It does not get much better than this.
That is absolutely epic. How's the wow factor of this incredible NBL season?
Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. It doesn't get you hyped. I don't know what will. Like, I know there's so many, as you touched on, Liam, and everyone knows things change by the daily. But, whew, bit of chills getting ready for NBL 21. All right, interesting. And this is one that I think we've kind of discussed a little bit over the last couple of months. But the fact is, with Andrew Ferguson signing at the Perth Wildcats, leaving a collegiate career, of course, had been in San Diego, then ended up at CSU Monterey Bay, and now with so much of uncertainty, both from a health perspective and getting in and out of countries and all the rest of it, he signs at the Perth Wildcats. He's 7 foot, he's tall, he's raw. I did see had a really good weekend in the State Basketball League over there in the West. We'll start with you, Liam Santamaria. This is something we might see a little more of in the next little while with these kids who are uncertain about going back to the States.
Yeah, I think that's the really interesting part about this. Obviously, he's signed on as a development player, but the word is that he has, he's going to maintain his college eligibility, a little bit like what Tane Murray is doing over with the Breakers right now. So he's going to kind of turn pro without officially turning pro. And so that's fascinating because he's midway through his college career. So he's played 1 year at D1, transferred, played 1 year at D2, and he's going to leave his options open to potentially go back. Now, the reason that's happening, obviously, is because who knows what the NCAA is going to look like. Is there going to be a season? What's that going to be like? So it's interesting that he's done that, but I'm fascinated to see if he is just the tip of the iceberg, because that could play out really, really interestingly, especially in terms of next stars. You know, guys who maybe they've finished their junior year and they've got one more season to go, and they look at it and go, this season's not even going to happen. I'm going overseas. How can I make that happen? How can we work this out? So big 7-footer, nice to have him at the end of the bench and at practice, and is an interesting prospect. But the most interesting part is who else might follow in those footsteps.
Are we 100% certain you could come over and be a next star, then go back and remain college eligible? Are we certain?
No, he's a DP.
He's a DP.
Yeah, I know, but with the next star, didn't you just mention with the next star?
I'm just saying, like, I look at the potential of guys who go the NCAA season. I don't even, who knows what that's going to be. I'm going to turn pro now.
Okay, so and forget about going back. So with the next, okay, yeah, all right, now I got you. Because of course, with the next star being paid, wouldn't be able to go back. But yes, as a DP, they are college eligible. Homicide, you obviously watch so much of this stuff, and this season ain't happening either. Like, I know the collegiate football, the power conferences are going to try and plow one through, but there's just so much uncertainty. This is a really good idea for these young Australian kids to be able to continue playing in a great environment without losing their college eligibility, which is so important for so many factors.
Look, my opinion, in America, sports is a wash. Collegiate sports is not going to happen. You as a parent, would you feel comfortable with your child in college right now? Of course not. There's no way you would. What if your child actually gets COVID and gets it the worst way, playing, being around a bunch of people, athletes at a game, you get it, it spreads rapidly throughout his body. He gets ice. He's in ICU, and then he dies, and you can't even be around him. This thing is that real. Who would want to risk that? I wouldn't, not for my child. No way. I don't believe colleges will move forward. I just don't. There's certain conferences right now that's suspended already. So it's going to be a domino effect, which means a lot of international kids will have an opportunity. We're talking about Australia in general. Australians will have that opportunity to be home. Why not if you can? It's not going to happen. It's not going to be no NCAA hoops.
There is no doubt, Liam, that obviously with the collegiate football is the conversation right now because that season starts before the basketball season. But so much of that, the advice and the decisions made then transfer, not just from a school perspective, from a conference perspective as well. And you can't really see them playing at least the non-conference schedule earlier, which we, of course, see before Christmas.
Yeah. And then the other guys that I didn't, maybe flag as I was talking about potential next stars there before is those top prospects who were coming in thinking, I'm going to be one and done. I'm going to come in, play my freshman year, and then I'm going to go to the draft. And right now they're committed, yes. But if that thing doesn't go ahead, are they going to have the patience to say, I'm just going to see this out? Or are they going to start to look at their options and look abroad? And there will be some NBL teams, if and when that happens, who don't have a next star on their books who can be in that game. And I think that's something that Jeremy spoke to us about when he was on the show. He said, look, that's the decision. That's always the decision with next stars is the timing. Do I commit to someone early and then maybe miss out on someone else who falls through the cracks later? Or do I wait? So we talk about the uncertainty in the sporting world right now. It's making things very interesting for NBL front offices.
Hashtag NBL overtime to get involved. Last week, Homicide, we spoke about just briefly about Scotty Hobson, teams having a look at them. Liam threw in Melbourne just as a little suggestion, and he tells us he wasn't alluding to anything, but, it's a nice idea, which becomes maybe even more real now. Casey Prather, by mutual agreement, they were able to go their separate ways. He's now got a job in Israel, but, Scotty Hobson and Melbourne United, Homicide. I did see you tweet it last week.
Look, man, it's before we even touch on Hobson, it's extremely unfortunate. Mr. 3 for 3 was robbed by injury. We worked with himself and us and United. I believe if he was in the picture, they would have went to the finals. The championship, grand finals is what I believe. And just very unfortunate. So, I wish him the best. You know what I mean? I'm sure we all do, But, when this part of the game, this part of the business, injury gives opportunity to somebody else. And listen, you know where I stand with Hop. There is no way you pass up on Scotty Hobson. There's no way.
Look, no,
there's no way.
Finances.
No. There's
finances are the issue. Correct? Like he's got a high price land. Like finances are the issue. Do you try and wait it out? And I'm not just talking about Melbourne United. I'm talking about any team that needs an import. Brisbane's another one, of course. Do you take the risk?
Scotty Hobson
out
at the 3, CG43 at the 2, money making Mitch at the 1, Shea Illy coming off the bench. Come on, Liam.
We're not arguing that.
I know, but I'm just saying, Liam, you got the floor, man.
Do you wait? No, that's the question that they have, and I think right now you do.
Okay.
I think in 2020, waiting to see it and being patient, the clever fisherman is catching fish in 2020.
Is that a saying, or you just make that up?
I
like the saying.
Well,
I like it.
See, most fishermen, they come in, they make a whole bunch of noise, they stomp around, they scare away all the fish. The clever fisherman takes it slow and quiet. It's like the patient wolf in a way. And then that's the guy who catches the fish. So I think that's
sorry, Rex Hunt.
If there's a team that is willing to be patient, as I said last week, there's a chance that we might be able to get Scotty Hobson back in the league. I will flag though, Cam, that the Casey Prather signing was the right thing to do to cut ties at this point. Really didn't work out for Melbourne United.
It didn't.
And now part of that is the fact that he wasn't able to get on the floor, but there was risk in signing him.
It was.
And, it's sort of, I feel this similarly to signing Aaron Brooks last season. Now, the fact that he was out, hurt himself and was out the whole season, that's not an absolute complete shock. The guy's 34 or 35. When you bring in a guy like that to play a big role, there's a chance he's going to go down. There's a bigger chance that he's going to go down than a 24 or 25-year-old. There was a bigger chance that Casey Prather wasn't going to play much last season than your regular import. And Cam, Melbourne United fans, if you want to talk to someone, Cam is the man responsible for bringing that man back to your team last
I was hoping you weren't going to bring that up. In my defense, when we bumped into him in that gym in Vegas, we were both blown away. Fair? Like, he did. Yeah. But you're right.
Don't try to bring Liam into this. Own what you got.
Cam goes straight back to the Thomas and Mack Center, makes a beeline for Vince Crivelli and Dean Vickerman and says, I just saw Casey Prather and he looks spectacular.
And they said...
so it's Cam's fault.
Yeah.
I think he had to play 2 more games for me to get 10% too, so I'm flat as well as anyone. Hey, someone we know that will not be replacing him and someone who would have fitted was DJ Newbill, who is signed in Japan. Is that right, Liam?
Correct.
Disappointing, isn't it, for NBL fans? We've loved watching him do his thing.
Very disappointing. And look, this was gonna happen. People get worried. This was gonna happen when the rule was put in place to go for this year from 3 imports to 2 imports. It is the sad reality of the current state of the world and the economy and sporting leagues. And unfortunately, we were gonna see some guys squeezed out. Tarico White, back-to-back champion. Grand final MVP 2 years ago. We're not going to have him in the league. DJ Newbill, all NBL second team, defensive player of the year. A guy, Taipans fans, actually fans from right across the league, grew to love because of the way he went about playing the game and carried himself. So it's sad that he's not going to be here. I don't think we've seen the last of him in the NBL. Opposing coaches love DJ Newbill. Didn't love going up against him, but love the idea of potentially having him on their team at some point. And I think that there's going to be good offers for him once we get over the hump of this whole situation.
Now,
hold on now.
Hold on, Cam.
Here we go.
A constant professional. What I respected most about DJ Newbill was the year he had before with Cairns. Mm-hmm. It was a bad year. He did not play to his level or potential or anywhere near how he played in New Zealand the year before, 2 years before. So for him to bounce back in the manner that he did and had a career year in the NBL speaks volumes about this man and how he approaches the game. So as you said, Liam, I don't believe either that we've seen the last of him, but good luck to him.
Hey, before we move on, Cam, I just want to say, because it was great what Corey said there before about Casey Prather, because you got to give that man his respect. And I just hope, I really hope for his sake that he has a really good year in Israel this year, because he's been a champion of our league and we just want to see him back on the floor and playing well.
No doubt. US Sydney Kings expert here, Corey Homicide Williams. The reports are the Casper Ware might be coming back to the Harbour City. It's been reported over the weekend, continually thrown around on social media. No official announcement yet, clearly. But Casper back, run it back. He, of course, opted out when that option became available a few months ago. But, gee, Sydney, Casper Ware automatically makes them tougher, doesn't it?
Look, here's what I want to say. We all know Casper is a superstar in this league, right? The best two-way point guard we've had in this league ever since he's been in the league. Mm-hmm. Every year he's played a full season here, which was the last 3 seasons, right? He went to the grand final. Mm-hmm. So you know, with him leading the charge, you going to the chip. That's proven in his career here.
You're going to the chip?
He's going to the grand final.
Okay.
I would love to see him back in this league. And not only would I love to see him back, I would love to see Andrew Bogut back in the league to run it back. Look, this is what it is. This is the biggest name in the history of the NBL, Andrew Bogut.
Didn't you say blow it up?
You said blow it up 3 or 4
times. Blow it up. You want to run it back.
Here's what I want. I want the biggest name in Australian basketball history playing in the NBL to go against and try to get the rings out of the greatest import to ever play in this league.
We all want that. We've been saying that for months.
My challenge. This is my challenge. I'm throwing out. Look. I don't want to see Bogut on Twitter. I want to see him on the court. That's my challenge to him. And for him, for now, Casper to potentially be the guy coming back, and Bogut come back. Let's think about this. This is the most rest any professional athlete has gotten, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, come on back and tell me if you can get. It's a shorter season. The greatest Aussie ever in the NBL versus the greatest import in the NBL. Go and get that back. That's my challenge. So bring Casper back because we know he's better than the grand final series that he had. We know this. So come on back and show everybody. That's my challenge. That's my challenge this season.
Just to clarify, did you just call Bogut the greatest Aussie ever to play in the NBL?
Is it true?
I love it.
Biggest name.
I'm enjoying
That's the biggest name.
The respect all over his name like that.
No. This is the biggest name. These are facts.
Well, you didn't say biggest name. You said the best.
I said the best. Isn't that based off of his career, isn't he? Okay. Number one pick, NBA champion. Terrific. You got anybody else big as an Aussie that's played in the NBL?
No, sir.
This is my point. So these are facts. So the biggest name in the history of Australia to play in the NBL, Aussie versus the greatest import to ever touch the shores. Bryce Cotton. We saw what he did last year. So run it back. I feel it's only right. I'm glad Casper's back. So at least the only thing he can do to get that respect back is win. You got to go through, you know who? The baddest man in the land. So let's make it happen. That's all I got.
I feel you. And we await official word from the Sydney Kings. Hopefully that does play out. Shout out to ESPN's Olgun Olek for the report. Hopefully it plays out because I agree with everything you just said. We've been telling you for months to run it back. We need Casper back. We need the year of vengeance from Ware and Bogut and Smith and Cook
we need
that whole
Bogut.
Crew.
We need Bogut back because a year with Bogut on Twitter with no hoops, we can't. I don't know if Australia's ready for that.
Sorry, guys. We're
ready. We're all ready.
Yes.
So I was frozen for the last 3 minutes, not because of some technical issue, but the exact stuff that Liam and Santamaria and I spoke about 6 months ago when you said blow it up. But I like it. I'm going to call you Greg Louganis because that is a backflip of one hell.
It's all good.
I love it. I like it.
Because he's bang on about Casper Ware.
Bloody oath he is.
That man is an absolute stud. He had a bad shooting year. He had a terrible grand final series at the offensive end. Yes, but he's an absolute superstar in this league and a winner. And he helps you, like Corey said, get right to the pointy end of the season.
Geez, I hope the reports are true. We just wasted 4 minutes talking about it, guys. It's not coming back if it's not in fact true.
Come on, Cass.
We're getting there. Hashtag NBL overtime to get involved. Anything else, boys, before we get out of here?
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap. See ya.
Peace.